I'm standing in the lobby of what used to be Riverside Medical Center, and I can hear something moving upstairs. It's 3 a.m. I'm alone, and I just realized this place closed down for a reason that nobody talks about. What I'm about to show you in the next 16 minutes isn't just about exploring an abandoned building. It's about uncovering why an entire community pretends this hospital never existed. Stay with me, because what I found in the basement changes everything. Before we go any farther, let me tell you how I got here. 3 weeks ago, I was looking at abandoned places in the Midwest when I saw a picture of Riverside Medical Center. It wasn't the degradation that bothered me. It was what I couldn't locate. There are no articles about its closing, no records from the Historical Society, no news from the area. It seems like this giant edifice that served this community for 40 years suddenly disappeared from memory. I contacted 12 historians who live nearby. Only one person answered, and all she said was, "Some places are better left alone." That's when I realized I had to go see it for myself. In 1952, Riverside Medical Center opened with the best equipment available at the time. At its peak, it employed well over 300 people. It had 4 floors and 80 beds, and was the only big hospital within 50 miles. Thereafter, it closed for good in 1993. The patients were moved. They laid off staff without giving a reason. The most peculiar aspect is that they quickly abandoned the building, leaving behind a significant amount of equipment. I'm going to stroll through every floor that I can get to tonight, write down anything I find, and try to figure out what truly happened here. But I have to be honest with you. The more I've learned about this place, I get there at 2:47 a.m. I chose this time on purpose because there would be fewer people around, and to be honest, I wanted the entire experience. The main entrance is locked, but the side door next to the old emergency bay has been pushed open, probably by other explorers over the years. As soon as I walk in, I can smell it. It's not just rotting. It's decades of trapped air, mold, and something more I can't quite put my finger on. Even when they're open, hospitals have a unique smell that stays in the air. My flashlight shows the area where people come into the emergency room. There's still a wheelchair in the corner. It's rusty but standing up. There are clipboards on the wall behind the desk. I get closer and can still read the names of the patients who were there in September 1993, the month it closed. Sarah Martinez, James Chen. These were actual people who came here for aid, not knowing that they were among the final patients this hospital would ever see. Give that some thought. This used to be an emergency room that saved lives. The next day, it was empty. What could make it close so suddenly? I'm going to the main hallway now, and I need to say something. My analysis showed that in the last 6 months of operation, Riverside had 3 times as many deaths among patients as similar clinics. 3 times. That's not simply a strange number. It's a disaster. But there were no investigations or public inquiries. Just an end in silence. The main corridor stretches ahead of me like a tunnel. Patient rooms line both sides, doors hanging open like missing teeth. I'm going to check several of them. And I want you to see what 3 decades of abandonment looks like. Room 112 still has the bed frame, an ivy pole in the corner. And here's something chilling. Children's drawings taped to the wall. Faded, but still visible. Stick figures holding hands with what I think is meant to be a nurse. This was the pediatric wing. Kids recovered here, played here, maybe even celebrated birthdays here. Now it's just silence and decay. Room 115 is completely different. The ceiling has partially collapsed, and there's evidence someone used this room as shelter at some point. Empty food containers, a sleeping bag in the corner. Abandoned places attract people with nowhere else to go. It makes you think about how buildings have multiple lives, doesn't it? But here's where things get interesting. Room 118 has something unusual. The door is marked with a faded red X. I've explored abandoned hospitals before, and I've never seen this marking system. I'm gonna check if other rooms have it. Yes, 3 more rooms on this floor have the same red X. What did this symbol mean? Quarantine? Biohazard? Or something specific to whatever happened in 1993? I need to tell you what I learned from a former staff member, the only one willing to talk anonymously. She told me that in the final months, certain rooms were designated as special observation units. Patients were moved there, and this is difficult to verify. But she claimed those patients never left. Not transferred, not discharged. Just vanished from records. No, I don't deal in conspiracy theories. There could be completely logical explanations, record-keeping errors, administrative chaos during closure. But combined with the sudden shutdown and the silence from local authorities, you start to wonder. I'm heading up to the second floor now, where the surgical wing was located. The stairwell is treacherous, missing steps, unstable railings, so I'm taking this slowly. Every creak echoes through the building. Okay, I'm on the second floor. The surgical wing is through these double doors, and wow, this is remarkably well preserved compared to downstairs. There are 3 operating rooms here, and I'm approaching the first one now. Operating room. A still has equipment, not just leftover furniture, actual surgical equipment. There's an operating table, overhead lights, instrument trays. Why would they leave this? This equipment was expensive, even in 1993. You don't just abandon tens of thousands of dollars worth of medical tools unless you're leaving in a massive hurry. I'm looking at the instrument tray now, and there are still surgical tools here. Scalpels, forceps, retractors. They're rusted and unusable now, but someone laid these out for a procedure that apparently never happened. Or maybe was interrupted. Operating room B is locked. I've tried every abandoned hospital I've explored, and I've never encountered a locked interior door. Everything is usually left open or broken open. But this door has a heavy padlock on it, added sometime after closure. What could be inside that needed to be secured? Here's something else that doesn't add up. My source told me that in August 1993, just 1 month before closure, the hospital hired 8 new surgical nurses. Why would a failing facility expand its surgical staff? Unless they knew something was coming. An emergency, a situation that required surgical capacity. The 3rd operating room is accessible, and I'm going in now. This one is different. There's plastic sheeting on the walls, the kind used for contamination control. But it's old, brittle, hanging in strips. Whatever required this level of protection happened over 30 years ago, but the evidence remains. I'm moving to the administrative wing now because this is where records were kept. If I'm going to find answers, it'll be here. The offices are mostly empty, filing cabinets tipped over, and papers scattered everywhere. Water damage has destroyed most documents, but I'm searching carefully for anything readable. Insurance forms, billing statements, personnel files. Most of it's illegible, but wait, I found something. This document is a memo dated the 15th of September 1993. It's from the hospital administrator to all department heads. Let me read this passage carefully. Effective immediately. All staff are instructed to maintain absolute confidentiality regarding patient group Omega. No documentation should reference this designation. All related materials will be collected and secured. Violation of this directive will result in immediate termination and potential legal action. Patient group Omega. That's not standard medical terminology. And the date, the 15th of September 1993. That's exactly 1 week before the hospital closed forever. I'm going to keep searching this office. There's more here. Handwritten notes in a desk drawer. The handwriting is rushed, almost panicked. They're not telling us everything. The symptoms don't match anything I've seen. CDC protocols aren't working. How many more cases will it take for them to acknowledge this? Let me unravel the truth for you. We have mysterious patient deaths, designated special observation rooms, a sudden expansion of surgical staff, something called Patient Group Omega, and references to CDC protocols failing. This incident appears to be a deliberate cover-up of an outbreak or medical crisis. But here's what really troubles me. I found discharge logs, and there's a pattern. In July and August 1993, the hospital discharged patients at normal rates. Then in September, discharges dropped to 0 while admissions continued. Where did those patients go? I know this story sounds incredible. I know people will say I'm jumping to conclusions, but I'm standing in an abandoned hospital that closed under mysterious circumstances, holding evidence of something called Patient Group Omega that staff were forbidden to discuss. And I still have one more floor to explore. The floor nobody talks about. The basement. The basement access is through a stairwell at the end of the administrative wing. I must admit, I'm filled with apprehension. Basements in abandoned hospitals are notoriously dangerous. Structural issues, flooding, and air quality problems. But this is why I came here. The stairs are concrete, more stable than the wooden ones earlier. It's getting colder as I descend, and darker. My flashlight seems less effective down here, like the darkness is thicker somehow. Okay, I'm at the bottom. The basement is massive. It runs under the entire hospital. There are multiple corridors branching off, storage rooms, maintenance areas. And what is this? There's a section with a different type of door, heavy, industrial. The structure isn't typical hospital construction. I'm opening the door now. It's stiff, but not locked. Oh my God. This facility is a morgue, but it's not like any morgue I've seen in other hospitals. There are too many tables. Far too many. A hospital of 80 beds would typically have morgue capacity for maybe 6 bodies. I'm counting. There are 25 tables here, and they're not empty. To clarify, there are no bodies present. However, several tables still have labeled toe tags attached. I'm reading the labels: PGO 47, PGO 52, and PGO 61, which refer to Patient Group Omega. This is where they ended up. On the wall, there's a log sheet partially preserved in a plastic cover. It lists dates in September 1993, September 8th, 4, September 12th, 7, September 19th, 11, September 22nd, 3. That's 25 total. And next to the final entry, someone wrote, "Facility closure authorized. Federal transport arranged." Federal transport. The incident wasn't a local cover-up. This involved federal authorities, the CDC, maybe others. Something happened at Riverside Medical Center that was serious enough to require federal intervention, immediate closure, and 3 decades of silence. I found one more thing in a corner office down here. A doctor's personal notes, somehow preserved in a sealed container. The last entry says, "If anyone finds this, know that we tried. We did everything we could. But once it spread beyond containment protocols, we had no choice. The families deserve to know the truth. I'm sorry, we couldn't tell them. It spread beyond containment protocols. An outbreak. The outbreak was so contagious that it could kill 25 people in 2 weeks and permanently shut down an entire hospital. I'm leaving the hospital now. It's almost 5 a.m., and I need to process what I've found. But before I go, I want to share something I discovered in my research after this exploration. I filed Freedom of Information requests with multiple federal agencies about Riverside Medical Center. Most were denied or returned no documents. But I did receive one heavily redacted file from the CDC that confirmed federal involvement in an incident at this location in September 1993. The specifics were blacked out, but one phrase remained visible: containment successful, no public disclosure recommended. I also tracked down 3 family members of people who died at Riverside in September 1993. They were told their loved ones died of common illnesses, pneumonia, heart failure, natural causes. But the timing is too coincidental, and those families never got closure. They never knew their family members might have been part of something much bigger. Here's what I believe happened. Based on everything I've found, in the summer of 1993, Riverside Medical Center experienced an outbreak of something unknown. It could have been a new pathogen, a contamination event, maybe even something related to medical experimentation. I don't have enough evidence to say definitively. What I do know is that it killed at least 25 people, required CDC intervention, and was deemed serious enough that federal authorities decided complete silence was preferable to public knowledge. The hospital was closed, the building abandoned, and the entire event was scrubbed from public record. The families of the victims were never told the truth. The staff were sworn to secrecy. And for 32 years, Riverside Medical Center has stood empty, a monument to secrets. Should this information be public? I think so. Those families deserve to know. The community deserves to understand their own history. But I also understand why authorities made the choice they did. Sometimes the truth causes panic. Sometimes silence is chosen to protect people. I'm leaving this investigation open. If you have information about Riverside Medical Center, if you worked there, if you lost someone there in 1993, please reach out. The links are in the description. Maybe together we can finally uncover the complete truth. This is why I explore abandoned places. Not for the thrill, not for the views, but because these buildings hold stories that deserve to be told. Riverside Medical Center served its community faithfully for 40 years, and then something went terribly wrong. The building may be abandoned, but the truth is still here, waiting to be found. Thank you for watching. If this investigation resonated with you, please subscribe and turn on notifications. I have more locations to explore, more stories to uncover, and who knows, maybe someone watching this has the final piece of the puzzle. Stay curious, stay questioning, and never forget that history isn't always written in books. Sometimes it's written in the walls of places we've been told to forget.